Welcome everyone to the Incredicast podcast. I'm Adam Hurst, here with David Kerrigan. And normally, you would see Kyle Busch or Kevin Harvick on the cover of Incredicast, but who's on it today?
Well, it's 2017 again. Welcome, everyone, to the Martin Truex Show. Man, he won stage 1 and would take home the trophy in the Pocono 400. And yes, it is 2018. Who knew? But yes, we are here to take you through the race of the Pocono 400, stage 1, take you right into it. Ryan Blaney, Penske cars. Ryan Blaney in the 12, he would get pole and would lead for about 30 seconds. We had a huge battle for the lead between our front runners of the sport, really, with Harvick, who's been up there with Kyle Busch. They had a good fight for about 10 laps, I'd say.
Yeah, it was around 12 laps.
12 laps.
12 laps, yeah.
So
it's funny because the 12 was on pole and 12 laps.
Yeah, 12 laps.
But Harvick would end up taking the lead from Blaney. And earlier we had Kyle Busch hit the wall, or almost hit the wall. And Harvick basically just drove around Blaney after those 12 laps. His tires just got so terrible. Short run car for sure. But then Harvick just leads most of the race. Then we would see green flag pit stops take over. And what happened with Kyle Busch?
Well, we had earlier this year, he wanted to have a pit adjustment with his wedge, and they turned it the wrong direction. This time, his total call, I don't know if it was his call per se, or if it was something Adam Stevens had said to do, but it just was not working. It was not complying with the car at all. He was stupid loose.
Yeah.
To quote him, it was trash and garbage. So
Yeah, I remember hearing him say someone said on
happy.
Twitter that Kyle was saying that it was just straight up junk.
Junk as well.
Junk in second place.
Yeah.
So, anyways, another issue that would happen on pit road is a Logano, his gas man. It was a new gas man for the 22 team. Just couldn't get it on correctly, didn't fill it up all the way. They thought that they could make it, but they didn't, so they had to come back in. Basically, his day was over at that point. Then we saw, because of lap traffic, Truex and Harvick were going at it, but then the 99 of Derek Cope was to get in Harvick's way. And then Truex would just cruise right around him, wins his second stage of the season. Last year, he was around 8 stages. This year's only...
At this point?
At this point.
Wow. Well, MTJ.
Yeah, stage winner.
So, yeah. And then we see in stage 2, in true Martin Truex fashion, we would see just problems on pit road. That's not his fault. I mean, all race long, MTJ had a great race. He drove through how many cars did he pass? Just a problem on pit road. At the height of the jack, it was really hard to get the left rear out of the car. Took him a lot of time, and we had the first time in stage 2, we would see Brad Keselowski in the 2 car. They would take 2 tires, and we would see through the rest of the day. We would see a lot of people changing up the strategy, taking 2 tires. But you would later see some people stay out. So,
but then we would see Kevin Harvick lead most of stage 2. But honorable mention, Hendrick cars. They're looking okay. They're not bad anymore. They're okay.
They're okay.
But out of that group, Chase Elliott was pretty much the best out of all of them. Jimmie Johnson.
I do have to give a shout out though to William Byron, a rookie, first year racing in the Cup Series, and this is a driver track. The brakes and you have to work that throttle. You got to flirt with it. Had a great day. First year, first time in a Cup car racing here. Had a great day for him. So
yeah, Harvick would win stage number
2. Shockingly, I know.
His 6th of the year, I believe.
Wow.
So
Dominating fashion, really.
just 2 away from Truex's from last year. So, which now Harvick and Kyle are tied in the playoff picture, which really doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
But who gets to Homestead before, in first or second? That's pretty much their battle right now, which doesn't really matter. But
regular season champion, hey.
Yeah.
Who knows?
But anyway, stage 3 would happen, and this is where everything started to go crazy. Kevin Harvick led most of the stage, but Bubba Wallace accidentally downshifted. He took a long lap of defeat, of shame.
I mean, that poor engine and transmission. I mean, 3rd to 4th is how you shift when you're going around, 170. You don't go a 3rd to 2nd. That poor thing didn't have a chance. Blew up. He was doing really well. They were playing the strategy card. They stayed out late in stage 2, was it, I believe? The 3 and the 43. So he was having a pretty decent day. Can't complain about his day up until that point. And then, on the front straight, the fastest part of the track, trying to, put the power down in 4th gear. And wrong direction. So
yeah, one thing I forgot to mention when we was talking about the Hendrick cars, Jimmie Johnson was able to stay out and actually lead his first laps of this year.
Wow.
It's
taken this long for him to lead laps.
He hasn't led since October of 2017.
Chad, you got to fix the car, man.
Yeah.
It's taken, oof.
Last time he's led a race was at Martinsville last year. So,
wow.
Maybe Jimmy's starting to turn it around. We'll see in the summer months. It's like normally Jimmie he's not terrible in the summer, but he doesn't never shine. Maybe it's the opposite for him this time around. But then we would see Kyle Larson getting into Derek Cope, and that would cause the first caution of stage 3. Actually, the first real caution, you could say, of the race.
Yeah. Actual wreck. We went through the first 2 stages without any trouble at all. We had the green flag pit stops, of course, and so it would take to the end of stage 3, have our first wreck, and then, as they say on both Fox and NBC, cautions breed cautions. After this, chaos and trouble would erupt all over.
Yeah, I thought we was going to see the Brickyard all over again.
My goodness.
So, when those pit stops took place, we had issues for Kevin Harvick with Ryan Blaney. He was right in front of him, couldn't get around him, so Kyle Busch ends up leading off pit road. Then would leave Harvick on the inside and lost a few spots because of that, which really changes the game because now if there is no more cautions, Kyle Busch would win. But what did we see?
Cautions is what we saw. Lots of cautions. Well, there's one type of caution that NASCAR has had that some drivers like Tony Stewart, they just love. It cheers them up at night. Debris. Good old-fashioned debris. From our good friend Chris Buescher, he would leave some little things on the track for Tony Stewart to go pick up. So we have another caution. And this would really show us how the restarts work at Pocono. How they currently work at Pocono. Little side note, I thought it was really funny how during the race broadcast they kept showing the Denny Hamlin statistic of how he was before the pavement change at Pocono with his starts and laps led. He led lots of laps. He had 12 starts at Pocono and won 4 of them. So 1/3 of the time that Denny Hamlin traveled to Pocono, he would win. And then after the repavement, he's ran there 12 times as well and didn't have any wins. Only led 47 laps.
Wow.
So
then after the debris, we had a little bit of strategy going on. Truex, Harvick, and Larson decided to stay out. But who would go in?
We would see the Penske cars would take the long haul, down the pit road. However, a lot of guys would take two tires, such as the Penske guys. We would see the first place car of Kyle Busch. You know, when you got the fastest car on the track, I mean, hey, you got to come in and put new hood years on that car. So he would come in and take 4 tires. However, you would see Martin Truex Jr. and Kevin Harvick along as well with the 42, who he's been coming up, you know, lately past few races. They would stay out, not take tires at all. And then, as I was saying earlier, the high line at Pocono really was the preferred line on the restarts. Cars that were on the low line just could not go, as we saw with the 4 car, as we saw with the 18 and the 42. They just could not go as well on the bottom. So
then cautions breed caution, you know. Denny Hamlin, Alex Bowman, they decided to crash. And that would end Hamlin's day. And as we was talking about Hamlin and his statistics,
ending his race and his chance to finally get a win at Pocono on this new pavement. So
good news for him is he has another chance in a few more weeks, because we have like 4 or 5 races in between, and then we go back to Pocono and Michigan. So, but then that would not be the end of cautions, because on the restart, Eric Jones,
that Jones boy, comes into play.
Eric Jones, I guess he lost it on the restart, or something happened.
I think he got tagged a little bit.
Yeah, so
he got some support.
Eric Jones goes for a ride, ends his day, because I think he hit the pit wall.
Inside wall, yeah.
Yeah, inside wall there, yeah. But then we would see Truex and Kyle Larson on the final restart. Larson tries to dive it in there, tries to do something, just not enough. Clean air is still king, no matter where we go.
Kyle Busch with 4 tires could not even pass. He had some problems. It took him a while to finally pass Kevin Harvick in the 4 car, who stayed out, mind you, didn't have any tires, but he couldn't get by Larson, who didn't have any tires as well. Clean air was so important. So,
and then there we have it. Martin Truex Jr. wins his 2nd race of the season. Last year we saw him dominate 1.5 miles. This year he seems to like those 2-mile tracks for some reason.
Ricky Triangle.
Yeah. So, which we're going to another 2-mile track, Michigan. Will we see him strong there again?
Probably. You know, you can't say no, he's got no chance, because I mean, even though he had the issues on pit road, even though he was back in the field, he was strong all day. Jeff Gordon and Mike Joy said it best. The 4 cars that were running there at the end of the 78, the 18, 42, and the 4 car, all of those guys are super strong at these type of tracks. We saw at Fontana, we saw it even at Texas, and now at Pocono. So those guys will be fast, and those guys will be there again. The 4, 78, 18, and 42 will probably get a lot of TV coverage coming up this week. So,
well, you know, they've won like 9 out of the 13 races that we've had. So I think Truex made it 10 somewhere, some number in there. But they call them the big 3: Kyle Busch, Kevin Harvick, Truex. That's what they definitely are.
Yeah, for sure. So, who do you have to win the Pure Michigan?
Well, I think we need to rename it the Pure Martin racetrack, because I think Martin's going to do exactly what he did at Pocono, maybe in dominating fashion. We'll just have to find out. I think he's going to join Kevin Harvick and Kyle Busch in doing like the in a row wins, consecutive wins, but we'll have to see.
So here's the question, though. Is it 2017 again?
It's 2017 again. For Martin, at least.
Good to know. Good to know. Well, for me...
It's Incredicast Season 0 all over again.
What I'm going to say is, it's not 2017. It's 2018. Come on, man. Kevin Harvick, who was really fast at Pocono, he almost won the race if those late cautions hadn't happened. And if Ryan Blaney had the slightest idea of knowing how to pit in his pit stall correctly and not be slanted, hey, the Ford car would have went to victory lane. So I'm going to pick Kevin Harvick in the Ford car because it's 2018, Adam. He's been dominating.
So it's going to
Fords are fast. Stuart Haas, So
Incredicast is now imposing the Battle of the Dominators from 2017 versus 2018. Who's going to rise to the occasion? And now watch Kyle Busch is going to be like, no, it's 2019.
Exactly. No, it's 2018 for Kyle Busch.
2018.
That's what he is. So
18 for 18. Yeah. But anyways, that is our picks. Look out for the 78. Look out for the 4. And of course.
Look out for the 18 as well. Hey.
And Kyle Larson hadn't won this race like 3 times in a row, has he?
No.
Yeah, no.
No, of course not.
But yes, that is our picks. But we do have some Incredicast news for you guys. We now have a SoundCloud. We will be putting that link in the description if you'd like to check us out there.
It's the same content. There's nothing new.
It's the same content, but with SoundCloud, you'll be able to actually listen to it on the go without because with YouTube, if you close out your phone,
it's a pain.
It pauses your video. So if you want to listen to us while you're walking or something down
driving,
the road,
or sleeping, or crying, or
whatever you're doing,
in the shower, on the throne, whatever you do, wherever you go, Incredicast is there.
Incredicast on the go. Yeah.
So look out for the 478, even the 18 and the 42. I mean, these guys, they could be our Homestead.
They could be
drivers. Who knows? So, I believe that is it.
That's it. If you enjoyed it, subscribe to us if you'd like. If you are already subscribed, make sure you click the bell icon. YouTube forces me to say this every time. I'm sorry. But we'll see you next time. And this is Incredicast signing out.
Adios.